Hi everyone, this is Amy. Welcome to my channel. You've asked me for a video about tying skates. So by popular demand, today I will show you how I lace and tie my skates. Different brands of figure skates are laced differently. If you're subscribed to my channel, you probably already know that I have Edea skates. I coach in Edea Concerto skates, which I got last spring. Before that, I coached in Edea Ice Flies, which were my old freestyle skates, before I got my Edea pianos. I have videos on all those skates, by the way, if you missed them. There's a link to them in the description down below. Before I get into tying the skates, we must talk about lacing. For all skates, the correct way of lacing is pretty fundamental. When it comes to Edea skates, it's even more critical. It's essential for you to know how to lace the boots you have correctly. Edea skates are designed to provide lateral support. Unlike traditional skates, the sides of the boot are not supposed to bend when you get into your knees and ankles. So proper lacing with Edea not only locks the foot in its natural position inside the boot, it also allows the boot to work correctly and guarantees you the best skating performance. When you lace Edea boots correctly, they will last much longer too. And that's super important because skates are an investment. You want to get the most for your money, right? Edea recommends changing your laces every time you get your skates sharpened. Depending upon your personal preference, that's between every 15 to 30 hours of ice time. So if you're a competitive skater spending 3 hours on the ice 6 days a week, you should be getting your blades sharpened between every 1 to 2 weeks. If you're on the ice less than that, let's say you do 1 hour before school and 1 hour after school, 3 days a week, and 1 hour each on Saturday and Sunday, you should be getting your skates sharpened every 3 weeks. Regardless of how often you skate, if you have Edea, you should be changing your laces every time you get your skates sharpened. I just had my concerto sharpened by Greg at Polar Skate Shop, so it's time for me to change my laces. I have a brand new pair of Edea Fluo laces here. I love these because they're slightly thicker than the white Edea laces, and for some reason they're easier to tie and get them tighter. I got these from Greg at Polar Skate Shop. If you're local to East Hanover, New Jersey, you can go there and pick them up. They come in different colors too. Of course, Greg also has the traditional white, beige, and black Edea laces. If you don't live local to Polar Skate Shop, you can get them online at the figure skating store. There's a link to that in the description down below. If you use promo code SKATEWITHAMY, you'll get 10% off your purchase. I also have a link to Edea laces on Amazon too if you prefer to get them there. Just make sure that you select the right size for your boot so that they're not too short or too long. I also want to note that you should always use laces made by the same manufacturer as your skates. Manufacturers design the laces to work with their boots. If you have Edea boots, always use Edea laces, either the colored ones or the more traditional white, beige, or black. Again, there's links in the description down below. With Edea, the lacing method is over the top from outside to inside. This way the lace does not put direct pressure on your foot. It also keeps the lacing uniform throughout and locks the lace at each crossing. So here we go. Now that my boots are laced, I'll show you how I tie them. The first thing that you want to do is make sure that the laces are loosened up all the way so that you can comfortably place your foot inside. Once the boot is open correctly, place your foot inside, pull up any pant legs that may be in the way, tap back into your heel to ensure that your foot is securely inside. Put the tongue into position. Edea is different from more traditional boots. With your other brands, the tightest point is usually at the top, but with Edea, the tightest point should be mid-foot. That is the 4th through the 7th hole. This lacing method provides for more ankle flexibility, and it's one of the reasons that I switched from traditional boots like Riedell to Edea. I have some hardware in my ankle. Some of you know this, but in case you're new, I'll fill you in. About 6 years ago, I completely shattered my ankle. The technical term is trimalleolar fracture with dislocation. It required surgery to repair, and titanium plates, screws, and pins were used to reconstruct my ankle. After that, I had a lot of difficulty pushing against a traditional leather boot and decided to give Edea a try. That was May of 2016 when I got my first pair of Edea Icefly boots. I've stuck with Edea ever since then. Along with physical therapy, it allowed me to build up my ankle strength. Now I have a much deeper knee bend than I ever had before my injury, even with a slightly more limited range of motion in my right ankle. I honestly don't think my skating skills, edges, speed into jumps would be as good as they are today if I hadn't made the switch to Edea. So that's just something to consider for any skater that may be challenged with getting really into your knees for deep edges and honing your skating skills. Edea boots are amazing for that. Anyway, here's how I lace them. I almost don't even pull the first 3 laces. That's the first 3 set of holes. I just make sure that they're all in place. I start to pull tightly at the 4th lace, which is the next set of holes. Notice that I'm pulling from the center out. That locks the lace into position. These 2 are the ones you want to make sure are nice and tight. You can actually pull them up as tightly as you want. I actually pull up here so that I get nice tension. This is actually the way that I suggest my skaters tie their Jackson and Risport skates too, at least up until this point. The top hooks are where Edea differs from traditional skates. You want to go over the top and pull less tightly when you get to the hooks. When we go over the top and wrap the lace around the hook, you're going to get a 360-degree wrap on the hook. This way, the lace locks at each hook and you get better function from the hook. I like to go up the hook, above, pull, and then slide down. If you were to go the other way, under to over, you will only get 180 degrees loop. Because it's not locked against itself, it may slip around. Remember, this provides you with more flexibility in your ankle, allowing deeper knee bend. Remember that Edeas are not designed to flex laterally. If you notice a crease starting to form here, you have unfortunately broken your boots down. It's time to replace them. You must lace them correctly. You should be able to fit 3 fingers in the front and 3 fingers in the back when you're finished. Edea skates will also appear more open at the top. This is how they're designed. With a more traditional boot like Jackson and Riedell, You want to go a little tighter with the top hooks, still going over the top, but tighter than you would with Edea. With Risport boots, you may want to do a little less tight, nowhere near as loose around the ankle as you would with Edea. If you check the laces mid-foot, you should not be able to pull or slide the lace after you've tied them. It's crucial to keep the middle part of the boot tight and the top a little looser. If your laces are not pulled tight enough here, the boot may get deformed because your foot will not be locked into the skate. When you take off your boots, this is very important. You need to loosen the laces all the way down and pull the tongue forward so that you can easily lift your foot out of the boot. I start at the top and gather the laces in my hand. This helps to release the tension so that it retains its fit and ensures that it maintains its shape. If you were to try to lace the boot up only partially, just enough to squeeze your foot out, the boot may get moldy and become deformed. So do it the correct way and never, and I mean never, leave your boots in a hot car. Doing so can cause the boot to lose its shape. Always remember to bring them inside when you get home. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and share it with somebody else that you think it could help. Just post it to your social media too. I post videos every week that can help you with your figure skating, nutrition, fitness, and ultimately live a better life. So remember to subscribe and ring that bell so that you never miss a video. This is Aimée. Thank you for watching. I will see you real soon. Happy skating. Bye.